left is right and right is wrong? Welcome back, friends. Happy Monday. Still messing around with the lighting. Doesn't look quite as blue or yellow today. So I read an article popped up in my Twitter feed, and now I went back and tried to find it, and I can't remember where it was from, and it was about something that I have done for so long I don't really even think about it anymore. And this was a story about why this particular rider and writer runs his brakes backwards. I skimmed through the article, and quite honestly, none of the reasons given were the reasons that I do this. In the 80s, when I first started riding real bikes, you know how when you first start doing something and no one's ever told you the right or wrong way to do it, sometimes you come up with ways to do it that aren't necessarily wrong, but aren't the common practice. It seemed to me that if I was going to take a hand off the handlebars, it was going to be my right hand. If I was going to point at somebody or give somebody a little push, grab a water bottle, obviously shifting, everything was on the down tube back then. Shake a fist at somebody, it was going to be my right hand, which meant that the only brake that was being covered was the front. Now, while it's true that your front brake provides most of the braking power, it's still not something that you want to jam on by itself. And so it seemed more logical to me for my left hand to cover my rear brake. And one of the guys that I was riding with, I said something to him about it, and he was like, well, why don't you just reverse them? And again, I was relatively new, and I was like, can you do that? And he was like, yeah, that's the way I run mine. And that's the way cyclocross racers generally run their brakes, because when they dismount, that left hand is, got a hold of the rear brake, and they can scrub off speed without having to worry about the bike going all cattywampus. So I did it. And I've run them that way ever since. And like I said, I don't even really think about it anymore. When I have to think about it is when I took those Trek travel trips. I wasn't going to take the time, nor was I going to make one of the guides reverse my brakes. So I just had to, especially on downhills, right as rear, right as rear, right as rear, right as rear. And, then I really have to hope that if I ever let someone ride one of my bikes, that I remember the brakes are backwards. So it was an interesting thing. Like I said, I've done it for so long that I don't really even think about it anymore. And I would imagine a couple of you probably run your brakes like that as well. So let me know down in the comments if that's the case. And yeah. I don't talk about other sports. And I'm not going to do that now, so don't click off. It is other sport adjacent. But it's a tremendous story. So the college football national championship, they also called it a playoff, which was, maybe this was the last game of the playoff. The team that won was from Georgia, and they were all wearing national championship hats, so I'm assuming that they are now the national champions of college football. I don't know. I don't know that I've ever watched a college football game, but the game was in my former home of Indianapolis, Indiana, Lucas Oil Field, and the Colts certainly aren't using that place anymore for the time being. So the quarterback for the Georgia Bulldogs, as the story went, told his father when he was 3 that he was going to be the starting quarterback of Georgia. 3. Went to Georgia as a freshman, walk on, wasn't recruited, didn't have a scholarship, walked on, made the team, but he was buried so far down in the roster that he was never going to get any playing time. So he left Georgia, went to a junior college, got on the football team there. Again, wasn't the starter right away, worked his way into the starting job, I guess won some kind of JUCO championship, and then went back to Georgia, got back on the team, still wasn't, was 2 or 3 quarterbacks down, worked his way to the starting position, and last weekend before, won the college football national championship as the starting quarterback for the Georgia Bulldogs, which he said he was going to do when he was 3 years old. 3. How many lifetimes would you have to go through to actually make all that happen? It's just a remarkable story. 1 in a million, a 1 in a million type of thing. And like I said, I don't really care about much professional sport or college sports, but that was a tremendous story. And yeah, unreal. I hope you're all doing well. Thanks for watching. As always, thanks for all the great comments. Make sure you click the thumbs up button. That does help a tremendous amount. You know that. And think about subscribing if you haven't. I hope something good happens to you today. Until next time, be nice, work hard, ride bikes, play music when you can. I'll talk to you soon.